Um, Welcome. This is Zwear's coding program, right? As you can see, this is the first slide of my presentation. So now here's the context, right? Introduction to Python and program is block coding on Tinker, projects on Tinker, and the final project. Why coding? If you ask me, why do I like coding? It's because I love to play video games. And coding helps me build them, and also because of new age technology that has sprouted out in 2023. Yeah, okay. So Python is a popular programming language, and Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language. The most major version of Python is Python 3. It is used for web development and game development. So this is the most basic line of code and command in Python. It's called print. So for example, this is a print. A print is basically, if you want to write something, it's basically setting for you to like load onto screens and stuff, right? So for example, hi, my name is Zwear, right? And this is like a hi, my name is Zwear, right? So this right here is another type of what do you call it? Is another type of print, right? This is a string print, which is basically for the words in English language in the alphabet. But when we type in numbers, we don't need these inverted commas in the middle, right? So whenever we want to print a command, we always have to put in brackets to make the computer recognize it. That's all for print. Now, this is the types of the other commands besides the print. So this is a variable right here. As you can see, there is a equals to 1,000. This is a variable, and this is a float. This is a float. Basically, it's for true or false commands. And down here is also a variable. So now right here, there's a thing called prints, right? So there are lots of prints, but I will show you. But besides from this, I will show you the screen on the right. So basically, class integer is for numbers. It's a number command. Is You don't need to use inverted commas to put it in. All you need is brackets. And Boolean is basically I think it is a true or false question. I think float is a variable too. Sorry if I got it mixed up. So class string is for words and inverted commas, right, to print out words. And yeah, pretty much that's it for these programmers. So now this is numbers basically. So we got lots of numbers right here, right? So right up here you can see on line number 3, it is right here is called a tuple with square brackets. Yes, so tuples is basically just a list, but without the curvy brackets, and it's replaced with square brackets. So down here it's called I think it's this like so I don't know how to explain it, but for x in numbers we got a colon, right? A colon, after we place a colon we press enter, which right here causes print x. Yes, as you can see there's also a space. So these are types of these commands that involves a colon, right? So yeah, pretty much that's it. Okay. So after program is, we are moving on to Tinker. So Tinker, this is a calculator that I made in Tinker, which involves, like, for example, if you write, there are two variables and an option, right? So option one is add, right? 2 is subtract, 3 is multiply, and 4 is divide. And we also have two options where we can type in our numbers of choice. For example, for me right here, I typed in 88 and a number around 1 billion. And since I used option 1, we got 88 plus this number equals to a bigger number. And the same thing works with subtract, multiply, and divide. So this is a story project that I have done. So right here, we have name equal input, which is enter your name, right? you need to add input whenever you want to type in something. For example, I typed in Laurel. So if and I typed in Laurel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on line 2, we got a print. We can write. We wrote something down here with it's a string classification, and whenever you type in the input, this appears down here in the print, right? And also there are two options, right? So there's a variable called a1 equal input, right? So we can choose a way to get inside. So we either have two options, right? And if we choose the first option, we get like the story ends. But if we choose the second option, the story doesn't end. So it's basically it's a story game. It's very complicated to make. So this is introduction project on Tinker. So this is like block coding like Scratch, but it isn't Scratch because unlike Scratch, we can type and search our blocks of code to find it, basically, right? And also a couple slight differences. For example, you can't see it right now, but there was a block called assets and expressions. And what they do is basically they generate the same block, right? As you can see. So this is a design project on Tinker. So so we use a command called turtle, which makes it like draw a bunch of stars around, and we choose the speed to 100, right? For example, we can change it to 50, 80, 90, even 0, but we don't on 0. And after we've inputted our speed, we type in turtle done. And we also, after that, we press play and play. After we press and play, it will draw the shape in the speed that it's supposed to be. So very, very fast, drawing multiple stars in a matter of seconds. Now, this is our second project on Tinker, a much more complicated project to make. It took me 2 days, so 2 days of the week. So, for example, we have two people. The player, which is me, my name's Zwear down there, and we got our opponent, which is Joe Rogan. We we have to select an option, either rock, paper, scissors, right? And the interesting part about this game is that the AI gets to choose its own options, gets to generate a random thing, right? And if I write in another, like for example, if the robot types in scissors and I type in paper, it will say you lost because we coded in the output of each and every option that we make for rock paper scissors. Final game, if you are wondering, we have a final game that we would love to present to you. Okay, so now first we have to write cd space one drive. So copy one
Okay.
drive, enter, and it will, and then for step 2, we have to write cd space desktop top. As you can see, the first two needs capitals to get in. So, but the third one doesn't need a capital. So now we have to type in C game, right? And now for step 4, which is the final step, we have to write Python space main.py, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now enter. Now we have a game that I created. I like to call it Space Colony, a mock Space Invaders. So now, first we have a little thing. So now we have to press WASD to move our ship.
Okay.
Oh wait, okay. So what WASD to move around and navigate our spaceship. So in this game, we take the role of a yellow spaceship and we fight alien spaceships to defend Earth. This and if you're asking if we use what type of coding platform do we use? we use Sublime Text to make this project, and it's very interesting to use because unlike either Python programmers or Tinker block coding or either Scratch block coding, we can't like we have to actually code in the images and the map. As you can see, we we are on level 1 right now. We have a maximum of 10 levels, but personally, I can only manage to get to level 3.
You're done very challenge. You can go
Yeah,
ahead. You have a
yeah,
lot to play then to move ahead.
yeah, yeah. I can't play. I don't have that much skill. Yeah, for
And did you
myself.
design everything? Did you design the space
No,
jet, the alien?
no,
No? Okay,
no.
plain.
I got them online on Google because I have not yet studied graphic design.
Oh, so you need to learn graphic design to be able to to draw and to
Yeah,
make your own. Wow, interesting. So these
yeah.
are
I can.
like, mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can only draw stick man. So
It's already more than what I think I can do. But yeah, nice. So you find them
yeah,
online and then you upload
yeah,
them on your game, right?
yeah. Right.
Okay, nice. And what did you find more challenging in Python? What was the most challenge?
Python, like most of the games, like their values, their variables, and all those like the numbers and the calculations you have to put in.
And what do you think is the biggest challenge of your game? It's the level higher, the loop. What do you think it's making so difficult your game?
Oh,
What
the
is the
avoiding
challenge?
bullets. Enemies shoot multiple bullets at a time, which like I try to process it and try to get a better aim.
Mm-hmm. So this is the
And then
challenge in your game.
yes, challenge. Very very big challenge.
And how
That's why I
many,
haven't been able to
yeah, and
progress
how
in
many
the levels.
alien you need to kill to be able to pass to the next level? Which is the rule? Because
Oh,
here I can see there are
basically
5 lives and one level 1. How many you need to, which is the rule to go to next level?
a certain amount of aliens because at first you'll see multiple aliens, right? And you have to shoot them all. And I don't know the exact number, but you have to shoot all the enemy ships multiple times. And as you sooner progress in the level, they'll soon to become fewer and fewer aliens. So that's an indication for
Oh,
us to
we are
move up
level
a
2.
level.
Okay. So there is no setting to pass to the next level.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's always changing. Every time there is a different scenario. Sometimes can be faster, sometimes can be slower. I'm right?
yeah,
Oh,
right.
interesting. So you never know what happened. It's always a surprise.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why it's
bit of a
challenge
surprise.
to go ahead or level.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And was for you the most fun part? To build the game? What was for you the most interesting part of this program?
Obviously play it.
On that, I don't have any deny, but on the learning side, what was the part that you learned that for you was more fun to
The most
learn? What?
fun was
Mhm.
to like write my own speech. Write my own speech, for example, write something in Chinese.
Okay, nice. So you're doing that with Python now?
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad to know this. That's where you pick up very well. Why, Pio, you would like
Yes.
to add anything? Yeah, please.
Yeah, I was listening the whole time. Apologies that I turned off the camera. But I'm pleased to see that he's getting a sound fundamental of coding, and pleased to see that he has been able to code in different platforms. Pleased to see that he has been able to create his own game. Whether it's rudimentary or not, it's a different issue. But at least he understands the logic of what to do to create something. So all in all, I think it's a worthwhile project that he's embarked on, and I hope that he can be able to continue his coding journey.
Yeah,
The reason why we wanted to have him learn coding is because it is the new language that
yeah.
it will be as ubiquitous as English or Mandarin in the future, in his lifetime. That's something that will happen. I do understand that right now we're moving towards more advanced systems such as no code, low code, and all that stuff. But I think for him to be able to be proficient in, like, as you mentioned, in robotics, it's going to be an interface between, well, robotics, not just a machine, but there will be like human machine integrations that will happen in the future. I mean, that's how I see things moving on. So even though in the future you might have low code, no code, or like natural language, but the thing is, I think it's important to understand how a code is built, whether you need to import it or not. So I think that is why we wanted to understand this and learn this. So hopefully, in the future, if he really wants to become a mechanical engineer, specializing in robotics or cybernetics or whatever the new discipline would be, I think he would have a good firm understanding of how, people talk to machines and make them do what they want.